As we enter the back end of the calendar, my focus is now starting to switch to the transfer window, and Blackburn Rovers have been linked with a whole host of players already, one of them being an international defender. Who am I talking about? I'll tell you next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another match. That's right, folks. Back once again with another Blackburn Rovers video today. It's all about the transfers. That's right, as Rovers have been linked with a whole host of players, and today we're going to take a look at one of them, and he is an international defender. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. You want some shop for Blackburn Rovers, EFL, World Football. We're going to all hear under one Roverseas. That's right. International in the respects of New Zealand. That's right, and we've got a good track record of New Zealand defenders at Blackburn Rovers. Could this guy be the next? That's right. We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Big shout out to the members. You know who you are. And a big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. So what I'm talking about this guy. That's right. It is Tyler Bindon. Currently on the books at Reading. This was broken way back in November. I will let you know now that we are not the only suitors in this party. There are a few interested clubs, but Rovers were tipped back in November, being linked with them. Of course, Alan Nixon there, Reluctant Nico on Twitter. Football League World also picked up on it. So, of course, Reading are in a spot of bother financially. So it does make sense that their key players are being looked at, and this guy is being one of them. Well, who is he? Well, today I'm going to showcase you his ups and his downs and compare him to who we have currently on the books. And will he be a great addition should the deal come through? So sit back, hold on tight. Here we go. Alrighty then, here he is, cheeky chappy over at Reading. It is Tyler Bindon, of course, who is a defender. That's right, he is a centre-back by trade, and he is a right-footed defender, a tall 1.88 centimetres tall, and he's just 19 years of age. His contract does expire this summer. He joined just a couple of years ago at Reading. But yeah, quality addition, or quality age anyway, and he can play for New Zealand, which I think he has done. He's also got United States citizenship, just like me. Meanwhile, let's take a look at his positionings over the course of his, I think this might be his career. Played at both centre-back slots there, not just necessarily the right centre-back slot, but also the left side centre-back. And also can play at right-back, which does, of course, remind me a little bit of Hayden Carter. This is, of course, his appearances thus far for League One's Reading. He's featured 19 times. Yet to score, yet to create assists, but just got a couple of yellow cards to his name. And he's been in the starting 11 100% of the time for Reading. So he is a starter for these guys. I actually talked about the current state of affairs for Rovers centre-backs with the rest of the Roverseas mafioso. We talked about what would happen if Danny Bart would get injured, or, you know, we're kind of not threadbare at the moment. Of course, Hayden Carter's coming back. Scott Wharton, long-term absentee. But I feel this move for this guy here, Tyler Bindon, could be one of those that we make the move, loan him back sort of deal, because currently Danny Bart and Dom Heim look to have those centre-back slots nailed down. However, Hayden Carter will come back and provide competition, and we do have still Carl McFadzean to be there as well. So currently we do have an option of Carl McFadzean to fit the void if we were to get injured, and Hayden Carter will add to that. Of course, I don't think there is room for 5, 6 fit and raring to go centre backs, but definitely a good age and a good calibre of player to have on our records. Let's take a closer look at him then, shall we? Of course, 19 times played at centre back. So I guess that previous graphic was more of him over the course of his career. Here he is, representing the All Whites of New Zealand, and he has featured for them 3 times, breaking into the team back in October 2023. He's been part of the United States under-19s, most recently as March 24, 2023. So switching his allegiance from the Americans to the Kiwis this past year or so. Of course, over the course of his tenure, he's played 65 times for Reading, 3 goals and 1 assist. He has played in, of course, a whole bunch of other competitions for Reading, the FA Cup, EFL Cup trophy, EFL trophy, and the Premier League 2 as well. So definitely worked his way through the academy and now into the main setup there for Reading. We're currently, of course, under the managerialship of Noel Hunt. I don't know how much strength he'll have in the transfer window, if any, but of course a sale in any regard would be absolutely, it would be a pretty grim stuff for Reading to lose a guy of this quality. As you can see from his attributes, so we should compare him, or we hope to compare him here in a second with a current Rovers player, but he's got a 64 strength in defending. His other attributes are below 50, but again, only 19 years of age. He could only get better, and I think we got young O'Riordan as well, currently on the books at Cambridge on loan. They're definitely for the mould of a player in the next 2 to 3 years, you'd be expecting him to start. Let's take a closer look at him. Of course, his skills and his abilities. Again, no goals. And again, 19 times he has played, averaging 89 minutes per match, totaling 1,693 minutes this season. He averages 0.5 shots a game because he is a defender. We'll take a look at those stats in a minute. Averages 62.4 touches per game. Is that correct? Accurate passes. Take a look at them here. 81% accuracy with his passing. He's kept 3 clean sheets amongst his defence at Reading this season. They've had a good start to the season, getting a little bit wobbly for them at the moment, the past couple of games, but they were up in the playoffs when Ruben Sellis was there. Averaging 6.4 clearances per game. And he has committed 1 penalty. No red cards, couple of yellow cards, and of course, aerial duels, 55%. Actually, ground duels, 55%, aerial duels, 67% won. So he's very good and strong in the air and, of course, on the ground. This is his heat map. He does prefer to play down the left-hand side, it looks like, from this heat map. So left centre-back with the right foot. That's what I'm getting from that. Here he is compared to a current Blackburn Rovers defender with the same, positioning, right-footed centre-back, and that is, of course, Dom Hyam, whose contract, I think, does that expire? It does expire this 2025. I think we do have an option for an extra year, but it's something that we need to nail down. So this could be a like-for-like. He is 10 years junior to that of Dominic Hyam. Both the same height as well, so it is like for like. Of course, he is playing for Scotland. I'm not sure how many caps he has, but yeah, it does look like Tyler Bindon does have the extra ability to play at right back should we need to go there. And again, should he sign on the dotted line? Let's take a look then at, of course, the valuations of these players. As you can see from the Tyler Bindon, he's been, I think started at Reading, then he went to LA Galaxy or LAFC, then back to Reading, and this is where he's been, and his valuation has not eclipsed £1 million at the moment, or €1 million. As for Dom Hyam, once peaked around about 5 million. It's now steady at around about 2.5, 3 million, but probably due to his contract situation, which of course needs to be finalised or sorted out in good time. Let's take a look then at the attributes. We talked about him earlier. What was he at? 64. So Dom Hyam is a 66, so it's slightly better at the moment. And again, slightly better, I think, pretty much all categories is Dom Hyam. But again, 10 years senior, so there is work to his game, and of course a long way to go in the young guy's career. So what do we make of that? I think it does make sense. Again, the valuation we're looking at, I think, is under €1 million euros, under £1 million. So if we can generate that funds, and I think Eustace and Waggett has said there will be the ability to strengthen in January. But is it one of those? Is it one of those kind of things that will be a player brought in for the future, or would it be a player to be brought in to be rotated into the squad now? We're looking at loaning out a couple of youngsters with Harry Leonard and Leo Duru heading out, which of course will limit our right back options. But of course we still have a couple of the ability to play Joe Rankin-Costello and Callum Britton at the back there. So we're halfway through a season, or we're getting close to the halfway point. Will Tyler Bindon come in, or will we manage to fight off the competition? Because a lot of these transfer links right now, it's Rovers and others, so it's not like we're favourites for the majority of these. But this one has got legs. I just want to know if those legs still remain, because our original post was back in November. So, what are your thoughts about that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm up for it. I think it would be. I think it makes sense when you think about Danny Barr only signed on the contract for the season. McFadden also will probably be on his way out come June. So we could lose two older centre backs, and Dom Hyman currently right now we don't know the situation with him. So we need to get those figured out. So I would take him, because I think he can definitely handle. He looks like he can handle League One football, and I believe he can make that step up to the Championship as well. So I would say go for it and get him on board, and hopefully he could be the Ryan Nelson reborn. That's right, legend from the New Zealand region, and of course a legend in Rovers' eyes. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. We look forward to seeing that. And again, this whole week, all the way through Christmas and beyond, we'll have a transfer update every day. I think we've got 5 current live rumours. And of course, we'll keep an eye on them for more as we break into the new year. Expect a little bit of a busy January, both ins and outs, more loans than sellings. And again, I'm not too sure if any arrivals will be purchases or loans. So make sure you keep up to date with Rovers. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. See you soon, guys, for the next one.